Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me. You'll see interesting places you probably haven't seen. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me. Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me.
Good morning, sports fans. Ben from Ben's Hang-Ups. Well, we're taking a short trip today. And as usually, when I'm out on the road, Ben takes you along with him, and that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to make one stop. We're going to go to an area we've been before, but this is a stop we could never make because, well, they're just never open. Now we're going to mosey along in there today to this town. I'm going to show you the one thing you haven't seen. We haven't seen, so I'm going to take you along. So as always, sports fans, here on a snowy, rainy, it's actually raining today. It snowed yesterday. Road work ahead. Now here we go. But it's raining right now. Anyway, sports fans, as always, the whole band's going to see you down the road. Well, we are in Niles, Michigan. Now, we visited Niles about a year ago. You can look that one up if you want to find out a little bit more about Niles. But we're going to visit this place. This is Niles Museum, the Fort St. Joseph Museum. I went upstairs first, look around. Kind of interesting up here. So I'm going to show you some of this. Now, Niles is built on the banks of the St. Joe River at the site of French Fort, by the way, French Fort St. Joseph, which was built in 1697 to protect the Jesuit missions established in 1691. Now that goes back a long way, folks. The fort was captured by the British at one time. Spain occupied it for a little while, and then the United States. So, Niles has the name City of Four Flags. Simplicity, pattern. That's big in Niles. Simplicity made patterns for dresses and so forth, so you could sew them on your sewing machine. A lot of displays in here are from the city. Give you a little bit of an idea of what life was like back then. Barren Lake right outside of Niles. That, folks, is an ice pick. And this display is some things about the city, Niles history, some of the women's clubs. Of course, you got baseball, Simplicities. You worked at the factory, Simplicity, you might be on the ball team. Here we got some pianos. Now, one of the things that was unique is this one on the end. That's a player piano. Well, it isn't even a player piano, really. It's a music box. And that sled, by the way, I never did have one like that. You're probably wondering, I bet. But I did have a helmet similar to that. My face mask only had one bar across it, though. That was the first one I had. more about the history of Niles, firefighting. This was interesting. Now I wonder if they stole this off a highway or where they got it. But they also played tribute here to some of the military people from Niles area. I thought that was very interesting. And some of these small museums do that. And as you know, old Ben likes these small museums. Try to support them whenever I can. Now, if you're anywhere live around here and you haven't been here, you should stop in. Now, I will tell you, the hours are a little funny. They're only open a few days a week, and that's like noon to 4 or something like that. So it's hard to get in, and you're not going to get in on the weekends. So I would look it up on the internet to see what their hours are. Now, when I did a video on Niles, I couldn't get in here because they weren't open. You can spend quite a bit of time by reading all these. I spent about 45 minutes to an hour in here. Could have spent another an hour. When I arrived, there was a couple field trips, school kids, field trips going on, so it was a little loud. I ventured right upstairs and left the downstairs for them. Now, getting back to Fort St. Joe, it was rediscovered because it had been abandoned and reclaimed by the earth. But it was rediscovered in 1800. Since that time, there have been several archaeology digs there, and it still goes on today. In the summer, they have students come in from various colleges to help in the archaeological digs, to try to find more artifacts from the fort and discover more about it, exactly what was and so forth. Now, this museum houses many of those artifacts that are being discovered every year. No, I was not in the Civil War. I do have a musket, and I do have a carbine from that period. And I wish I had that Sharps. Henry A. Chapin was born in Linton, Massachusetts in 1813. 1813, wow. In 1814 to 1834, he lived in Edwardsburg, Michigan. That's a town just a little northeast of Niles. Started a general store there. Later in life, he purchased some land in the Upper Peninsula. And guess what they found? Well, iron ore on his property. Well, he leased it out leased that land out and received $100,000 to $300,000 annually for the rest of his life. What he did, one of the things he did, he moved back to Niles here, built himself a mansion. Yes, he did. And this is part of that mansion. This would be servants' quarters, probably at the time, carriage house and so forth. And the museum's in there now. The mansion itself, right next door, you can visit that for $5 on the days when they're open. Unfortunately, Ben is out of luck again because it's under some kind of renovation. And Ben doesn't get to see it. It's too bad, but I'll show it to you from the outside. This is some of the artifacts they found, including teeth from this creature. Some of the information on the fort, some of the buildings, some of the artifacts they have discovered. And that's what the fort would have looked like. No, that's not my hat. Now you can visit this archaeological site here in the summertime. Oh, look at this carving. This is sharp. But you can visit that site for a few weeks every summer, off and on. And you can visit while they're actually doing the digging. I was there a number of years ago. It was very interesting. But I think it's time to head downstairs. It's got a little quieter down there. Yes, the stagecoach used to run through here. Now, like most towns, when the railroad came to town, that kind of changed everything. Kind of put them on the map, you might say. So there's some railroad history here. That was a railroad safe that you were looking at in the corner there. Well, that's a museum part, and this would be the Chapin House. A lot of stained glass windows, very well kept up. Matter of fact, that's what they're doing today. Not a bad structure. This will tell you all about the Chapin House. I wonder what this would cost to build today. Well, it's time to head out of here. We got places to go, things to see, and I may take you along. By the way, that is a cold rain. Now, folks, this is 933. Runs north-south through Niles here, all the way down to Indianapolis, and way north. Now, when I did the last video, I rant and raved about this road right through Niles, because the road was a good road until you get to here to Niles, and then it was falling apart. You couldn't bring your vehicle down here, you thought you'd wreck it. And I refused to come to Niles. I would come back ways if I did, because I wouldn't travel this street. And with all these businesses down here, it was a shame. It was a shame to have a road like that. Shame on Michigan for that. Anyway, they finally decided to do something about it. And they paved it. Did a wonderful job. Really nice road. And then they came down here. This is Highway 12, east-west down here. Now, this is a main route, folks. Highway 12. And guess what they did? They tore the overpass bridge out for 12. Now 12 has to come down here and stop. Now that's bad enough. But I'm telling you, during the busy hours, you can back up here a quarter of a mile or more. That means from this light you just went under to this light, and past this light, they're lined up to get through that intersection. Shameful. Should have never tore that bridge down and should have rebuilt it. But anyway, see you around the road, folks.
You got the whole wide world to see. Great destinations and friendly people for sea to shine and see. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Come on back and relax and take another ride with me. Thanks for running along with me. Sit back, relax, and take a virgin ride with me. You'll see interesting places you probably haven't seen. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Sit back, relax, and take a virgin ride with me. There's a beautiful country out there to see. Relax in your seat and turn on your TV. Sights and sounds will fill your video screen. Historic sites such as just scenery. Small town parks and festivities. No high price gas or anxiety. All of this from me to you I'll share, and you won't even have to leave your comfy armchair. destinations and friendly people for seas, shining sea. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Come on back